Hey, what's up, fam? It's your boy Darren Brown with Darmac Builders, your construction guy, insurance guy, real estate, investments, you name it, when it comes onto the financial field. As what you can see right now is my whiteboard, basically, or my chalkboard, as they said back in the day. And what I did yesterday is I think it's very important to teach financial literacy. And what I was doing on this with my three kids, I was just going over some real estate opportunities for them. Just basically just explaining to them how numbers work, what they need to do in terms of if they find a property, how to do a pro forma statement, how to figure out if the property is worth what they're asking for, understand certain terms like NOI, ROI, amortization is a very important. Rule of 72 is another thing that we were going over. Just things that's really not really taught in the high school, even college levels. Most of the things that comes on real estate, you're going to have to learn on your own, or you're going to have to get with somebody who is in the business that's going to spend time with you and mentor you. So this here was just an example that I went over them purchasing a triplex, giving them a price, going over a rental schedule, which is a pro forma schedule. So you can see right there, and some of this, a lot of people can do this certain different ways, but it's just the flow. And what's more important is teaching, teaching the younger generation, because everybody's about, oh, I want to make money, I want to make money, I want to make money. But you don't understand the concept of money. You don't understand how money can make you money. You don't understand what it can do for you. The benefits of certain things, such as owning real estate, certain owning, having a stock portfolio, having a 401k, 403b, things like that. What I'm trying to do is continue to teach that financial literacy, how to buy assets that are appreciable, not depreciating assets, which most of us pretty much do. And it's building up your wealth, okay? Building up with your wealth. What you do with that $1 when you get it? How is it broken down? I mean, how much of it's going towards your daily expenses? How much is going to your savings? How much is going into your investments? Those are things that you need to do. So what I kind of did here is, as gross scheduled income, give them a projection. Other income is really mostly with commercial buildings or commercial or rentals. When you have, like, say, for instance, a laundry room and people are in there paying their monies to go pay for laundry, or do you have a building that has let's say, a vending machine? Okay, all that is like other income that's pertaining to that particular building. And then we went over to vacancy allowances. Most people don't understand what vacancy allowance is. It would be great to have 100% a rental, but you don't. Some people move out, and they may move out, and then you may not fill that spot for maybe a month or two or whatever. So you have to have some type of vacancy allowance, and that's what that 5 or 10%. It all depends on who you're dealing with, basically. And then that's your gross operating income. Then you have certain expenses. Your expenses come down to insurance, property taxes, repairs and maintenance, utilities. I could have done repairs and maintenance separate, because maintenance is something like, hey, do you have a lawn service? It's going to cut your grass on a monthly basis. That's cost. You're not going to be out there doing it if you're a landlord. Or you may. I don't know. Some people may do that. All right. Repairs. Oh, somebody call you, hey, I got a water leak, or the toilet stopped working. The GFI is not working, something like that. You got to get it repaired. So you got to have a team in place, where it's your mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, or your AC which is mechanical. Their AC is not working. So you got to have something that you set aside on a monthly basis on that. And as you can see, I did that for them, 5 or 10% on that, depending on who you are. Utilities is something that, if you have a building and you have like an independent lighting out there, lights on your building, or you have a pole light out there in the front. That's something that you have to pay as a landlord. Your tenant's usually going to pay for their own FP&L, and then you're going to have to pay for maybe water and garbage if you are a landlord. It all depends on where you live, where you stay. Sometimes the tenant pays for everything. They pay for the water, they pay for the garbage, and they pay for their FP&L. In this particular scenario, I said that they are going to pay for, the landlord is going to pay for the water and garbage, plus they're going to pay for that light that is on the building or away from the building, or in the yard somewhere. Then we come up with our total expenses, and then we come with that the income, NOI, which is net operating income. The net operating income is that's what it is. That's what you have left over to pay a mortgage if you got a mortgage out there, if you had to go get a mortgage. Okay, so that net operating income, which is NOI, get familiar with that term. That's very important. That's what I was telling my kids. You should be able to, and you hear net operating income, you should know how they came up with it, because if I go back up to where the expenses are, I could probably have 7 items, 9 items. I can probably have all kinds of stuff there. I can probably have management fees up there. I can have all kinds of things. All right. So there's a big thing with that. Okay. Then you have this thing called debt service. What is debt service? Actually, debt service is going to be what you're going to pay on, if you do happen to go get a mortgage. And so here I gave an example. You got $750,000, 20% down is $150 down. And I said you're going to probably have another $50,000 in closing costs, which is your outlay is about $200,000. Again, these are examples. I want my kids to understand, follow the pattern. I don't want nobody saying, "Oh, well, Darren, it's not going to be that much money in closing." I get what you're saying, but I'm just trying to give them a guide as far as how this works. This can work on a triplex, fourplex, fiveplex, single family home, condo, you name it. It could work. So we have then what I did was I kind of like, okay, what is, so you financing 600,000 at 3.5% 30 year, okay, which is 360 months. What is the monthly payment on that? Well, we figured it out that the monthly payment on that is going to be roughly around about 2,694. So out of my net operating income, which is 3,990. Okay, it's kind of get it. The red mark is my total expenses. I hope I added it right. It's 2,280, and my net operating income after I paid off everything is 3,990. And then now I got to pay a mortgage. So that mortgage come out to be 2,694, which is roughly around 27. That could be to any bank. I was telling you, it doesn't matter who it is. It could be any bank, any credit union, any mortgage company that you paying it to. Okay, and so all this is based on monthly projections. This is not yearly projections. This is monthly projections right now. And so with this particular property, you're bringing in about $1,300, $1,296. I was just being exact with them. And then also what I was doing here, I said, okay, how much does that translate into a year? Basically about 15,552, as you can see that. And then I was asking them, what's your return on an investment? So that return on investment, I invested 200,000. I'm making 15,552. And then with that's giving me a return of 7.8%. All right. So 7.8% compared to what? So that means that, okay, what are your alternatives, right? There's a thing that you can do alternative investing. Okay, if I have 200,000, where can I put it in and make 7.8% a year? So if you are financially literate, if you understand that, okay, if I have 200,000, I went to any bank and I say, hey, I'm gonna give you my money for a year. What kind of return? Somebody gonna come back at 2%, 3%, and that is about it. That's what you're gonna get on that principle. So what I'm trying to get my kids to understand is that you have other options. This is one of them. Okay, I'm gonna get 7.8% on my money by buying an asset that's gonna appreciate. Now here's the kicker. Now I bought an asset that's worth 750,000, right? Let's say it appreciates each year about 4%. I'm not gonna get overconfident, say it's 8-9%. Let's say so in 2021, for an example, I bought a property that's $750,000. Okay, in 2022, that property is going to be worth $780,000 because of a 4% appreciation. Okay, that's 780 in 2023. It bounces up to 811,200, and then in 2024, okay, it's going to bounce up to 843,000. So not only that, I got an asset that's probably giving me close to $93,000 of built-in equity, basically. I'm also making $15,000 a year on my money. So I didn't do the whole calculation on it, but you can see my point. A lot of us have the money, or we make either inherit money or we may earn money, but we don't understand how money works. And so if you're just taking your 200,000 and putting it in an investment, and I'm not saying there's not other investments out there, and then you're only getting a return on that investment, which is the 200,000, because that's your asset. that's it. You limit yourself. But if you put it into something like a real estate deal like this one right here, and you understand and you can follow it, you can see not only are you going to be making the $15,000, but remember what goes up, rent. So instead of collecting like $2,200 per month for on this particular deal, maybe in 2 years you can probably collect 23 or 20 or 24. If you're a good landlord, most people aren't going to want to move. You're taking care of things. You're taking care of service calls. You're polite. You're keeping the place clean and immaculate. People going to want to stay there. And so what you're doing is you're putting yourself in a situation where you can not only have the benefit of a property, but also benefit of the people staying there and making you money. So in short, this is an example that I went over with them last night, going over things. I go over like a fourplex. Next time I may do a condo example. I may do even a construction example as far as building something. But this is something that our youth need to know. This is something that really not only youth, adults, everybody needs to know how to do this kind of thing. And if you don't know it, you got to learn it. And again, too, the last thing I want us to talk about is I was showing about the amortization, how each month, as little as it may be, how you paying off that $600,000, which is also giving you monies in your pocket in the long run because you're reducing the debt on there. So, for example, the mortgage was $2,694. I broke it down the first month. You out of that $2,064, $1,750 is going to interest. $944 is going towards principal. Principal was reduced to $599,056. And let's say in February that's what you owe. Then the next time you make a payment, you can see how, even though it's small, your next mortgage payment, you're reducing the amount of interest, which is $1,747, and you increased your amount that's going towards your principal, which is $947. So every month as you're paying that mortgage, remember your tenants are paying this mortgage, you are benefiting from this. You are getting the residuals from them paying down that $600,000. So to recap, you're getting a cash flow. I haven't gotten to the tax benefits of that, but you got into the tax. You got the $15,000 that you get in a year. You're getting the appreciation of the building, and also you're reducing the monies that you borrow. So this is your boy Darren Brown coming to you. Make sure you tune in, listen to my YouTubes. I'm gonna be bringing you knowledge like this, and it's sometimes gonna be unorthodox, but this is how I get down. So I want you guys to continue to listen, continue to follow, continue to learn, and go out there and make that bag. Peace.